But let's get started. Hey everyone, August 6th. Gosh, I mean, don't hate me. I'm kind of over summer. I'm ready for October. I'm ready to not sweat all the time when I go outside. So, but yeah, that doesn't mean that we can just skip ahead to October. We have to focus on August, which is now almost 1 week underway. And you all are in the group message. I'm transparent with you guys. I'm not telling you every day. It's just people flock to me because you know that's not true. And I'm at Success Club Zero, and it's freaking me out. So Christy and I are doing this training, which I have a couple quotes I want to share with you, with Josh Coates. You probably have seen him on Facebook. He mentors a lot of coaches. So we'll definitely let you know what our feedback is. We're doing it for the whole month of August. He came to our Super Saturday. And I didn't even want to get on the Zoom. We have a Zoom every Monday morning, and I was just not feeling it today. It was like, at Success Club Zero, had a girl supposed to sign up, backed out, other girl backed out. I'm like, this mind track, and I texted Brian, I'm like, I just don't know what I'm going to do. And that was how I was feeling this morning. And then I got over myself because there's nothing is going to happen if I'm sitting there having a pity party. And after the mastermind, it was like a kick in the pants. I'm like, okay. So people said no. So I'm at Success Club Zero. So what am I going to do about it? Am I just going to say, okay, this month is going to suck? Or am I going to go back and like 10x my actions to do everything that I can do to have a successful month, to have a successful week? It's not about what other people do. It's about what I choose to do. And so I'm proud to say, as I told you guys, I just started mass inviting. And I'm talking like challengers years ago. I was literally just like, hey girl, I'm thinking of you. This is what's going on. Do you want to come back? I'd love to do I think it's Amanda. I think I'm going to mute you, Amanda. Back. Hey, Amanda, can you mute your phone? Oh, I can't mute. Okay, I think that's gone. So anyways, guys, I was just having kind of a pity party morning for myself. So if any of you think that like I'm immune to this stuff, I'm not. But I also had feedback after I put in the action. So it's funny, the more action you put into this business, the more you get back. And if you sit there and you just feel down on yourself, you're not going to have any action, because I'm a firm believer in what we get is what we put out there. And I put out so much work in July that I did have people randomly come to me, which usually doesn't happen. And I believe it was because of the work I was putting out there. So I know even if I can't see it, all of the work that I'm doing is putting work into my business and putting work into the goals that I'm going to achieve this month. So I'm going to jump right into posting schedule, because I think I can motivate you guys. I think I'm pretty good if I can toot my own horn at like pumping you up, because I get pumped up. But at the same time, if you don't have a system to work with, it doesn't matter how pumped up you are. If you go to work your business tomorrow and you're like, I don't know what to do, it doesn't matter if you're motivated. You got to do the work. So my goal tonight in the next 20 minutes is to give you a schedule for posting, give you a schedule for polls, give you ways to get more engagement, and then have more people to talk to, because that's what this is all about. More people to talk to, more eyes in front of your stuff, more engagement on your posts. Okay, so 2 quotes that stuck out with me that Josh said this morning. They just really resonated with me. Goals were not meant to be reached. They were meant to stretch you. So, right. So if we've reached those goals, they were probably not high enough. Goals are meant to stretch us. So when you set these goals, like I want to sign up 2 coaches, is that stretching you, or is that something you think you can achieve? A goal, I want to sign up 100 coaches in X amount of time. That's going to stretch you. You may not get there, but you're going to land farther than if you set your goal at 2. Do you know what I mean? Same thing with Success Club. I want to hit Success Club 6. Okay. But what if you want to hit Success Club 30? Do you think you'll hit more than 6? Probably. If your goal is here and you're working towards it, even if you don't hit it, you're going to get farther than if you set it lower. Common sense stuff, but I think it's stuff that we need to be reminded of. Second quote, last quote I took away from this morning. I really like this one. If you don't, and Christy, I think I'm paraphrasing, but you probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't take full responsibility for what happens in your life and your business, there is always someone else to blame, or there's always an amazing excuse for why you didn't achieve something, because you can blame someone else, right? You can blame time of the year. You can blame family. You can blame life happening. You can blame so many things. If you do that, no one's going to argue it's not a bad excuse, but you've just given the power to someone or something else. When you take that back and you say, if it is to be, it's up to me, then it's kind of like, it's scary because you take full responsibility. It's not my fault if you succeed or fail. It's not anyone else. It's not your family. It's not your background. It's not your weight. if you just take out that equation, it's scary because it's up to you, but it's also empowering because it's up to you, right? Like you control it. I don't control it. So that really stuck out to me. Anyways, let's jump in to posting and a schedule that I found. Again, guys, July was my best month I've had in a year. So I'm telling you what I did in July that I think has merit because it helped me talk to more people, both brand new people and people I have invited and or worked with in the past. That's where most of my points came from. A couple were random referrals, a couple were assigned customers, but most were new people I invited who have responded to my polls or posts, and previous challengers or people I had invited in the past. Okay, so here's what I do. First, here, I've seen this on a couple pages, so I just want to make this clear. Decide what your business platforms are and stay committed to being business on those platforms. I'm not saying share, calls to actions all the time. I'm saying what your business platforms are should be reflective of your brand, okay? So if you're deciding I'm working on Instagram and I'm working on my Facebook like page, awesome. If you want to post random stuff on your personal page, have at it, go for it. But if you're deciding that my business platforms for my coach account are Instagram, whatever, maybe you have one or two, and my Facebook personal page, then treat your Facebook personal page just like you would Instagram, okay? I've been seeing a lot of coaches sharing stuff, and I'm saying if you're not using your personal page for your business, I don't think that, I think that's fine. But if you are choosing your personal page, don't share stuff, right? Don't do the quotes, don't share videos, just don't do it because that lowers your affinity. Facebook does not show that to as many people. And when you go to post something that might be business related or sort of a feeler type post, it's going to lower your algorithm that you're not as many people are going to see it. Okay. So same thing, pick your business platforms. If every account that you have is a business platform, then great, stick to that. If you have an account you don't use for, you have more leeway with what you post, but just identify what are your coach accounts and make sure when we talk about branding, we've talked about that a lot in the internship, every picture should be reflective of one of your brands. Okay. Or one of the things that make up your brand. Okay. Really quick too, profile picture. We haven't talked about this in a long time. I think it's worth mentioning again. Clear picture of just you. That is just my opinion, but I think it just needs to be us, needs to be a clear picture. You don't have to get professional pictures done, but you against like a blank wall like this, maybe have someone else take it outside, natural light with nothing going on in the background, like brick wall is great. Just not a very busy background. They make for awesome profile pictures, like chest up. On Instagram, on your like page, and I would say on your personal page too, even if you're not super using your personal page for your business. I understand a lot of you guys want to share pictures with your family or your pets. Use your cover photo for that. Canva.com, you can create a really cool cover photo with your family, your friends, your interests, but keep your profile picture to just you. And I say that because if we're bringing people from Instagram to Facebook and we're asking them to send us a friend request, right? We want it to be very clear that this is who I'm talking to. This is me. This is just like, and it looks professional too. So definitely check it out and see if you need to update your profile picture. And again, I'm not saying don't post pictures of your family or your friends or your pets, but I would just say use that for your cover photo instead. And please, if you have any questions, just unmute yourself. You guys know that. Okay. All right, posts. So post once a day. I aim to do some days I don't post every day, which is crazy. If this was a year ago, like I wouldn't know who you were talking about because I'd be like, that's not me. I post multiple times a day. It's changed. Social media has changed. I post one time a day on Instagram and my Facebook like page because that's where I work my business. Facebook personal. Now, because of the training that Christy and I are in, I might start doing, may have seen this today, more engagement type posts on my personal page. I'm not saying I'm going to use my personal page for my business again. I'm playing with things right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I do post once a day, usually 6 days a week. Exact same thing from Instagram to my Facebook like page, but I used to link it. I watched Janelle's training. I stopped linking it and I just copy and paste. So I'm pasting organically. Does that make sense? Like post organically to each social media site. Okay. Again, about last I've heard, algorithms will be better if you don't link it. Stories I link. I link the Instagram stories to Facebook stories. I just post organically. Does that make sense? Okay. As far as my tips for what to post, I like to say have some sort of plan for your week, right? Like Tuesdays are a great day to share your story, to share Transformation Tuesday. You know, it doesn't always have to be physical. Like, how are you better mentally since becoming a coach and joining groups? Maybe if it helps you, like if you're a planner, sit down on Sunday night and have ideas for the week. Doesn't mean you have to write out your post, but like Tuesday, I'm going to post this type of post. Maybe Wednesday is going to be a really clear picture of me stepping outside with my food, my lunch, my breakfast, whatever, natural sunlight, posting a food picture. Have those ideas in mind so that you're not like, oh my gosh, it's Monday night at 10 p.m. I haven't posted anything. And then you're scrambling and then it's not going to feel natural to post anyways. Okay. I'll tell you in just a second, sort of the schedule that I follow. The goal for posts, especially now that more people are watching stories and less people are reading posts, is comments. Okay. So likes are great, but really my goal is if I'm going to post something and I'm going to take the time to type something up, I want people to comment, right? Because that, and you guys may have seen, watch Chanel's training if you haven't, that I posted something yesterday as a test. And I said, hey guys, this is just a test. Did I show up on your newsfeed? Comment below. I got tons of comments on Instagram, more comments than I've ever gotten on Instagram. And that boosted my affinity, right? Because people, now I'm not going to do that all the time. Don't do that all the time. Maybe once every couple months. But now the next time I post, a lot more people are going to see it. So what if on all your most of your posts was something that people were just itching to say? And that's, you know, people love to give their advice. People love to give short answer. Not like, where do you want to be in 5 years? But hey, what moms, what would you recommend? What's the best type of lotion for a newborn? I don't know. Like, I'm just saying part of your post is sharing your life. So give people something that they're just like, oh, I have to answer that, right? Not every post, but the goal of your post is to get engagement. And starting with the question, if you're going to start with the question, is a great way to grab people's attentions, because our attentions are 2 seconds long. You're probably listening to me and doing 10 other things right now. It's cool. I did the same thing. But if you have 2 seconds to read a question, you might read the rest of the post, right? Okay. Okay, so again, Janelle did a really good Instagram training last week, and she even talked about hiding hashtags in the stories. I'm not going to go into that right away. I'm just going to refer you to her training. That's why she does these. I'm not going to, respond to everything that she taught me, because you can just watch her training. Okay, it's a pin post of the Team Hardcore page, and she talks about, it was really cool. Like, I don't hashtag my posts anymore because I just found that got really spammy. But she said hashtagging your stories, and you can make them transparent. You can make them really small, like they're hidden. You can't really see them. Same thing with location. Okay, if you don't want to necessarily broadcast where you are, but if you can even hashtag locations that you don't live in. Think of a populated area like Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA. Like, you can type in cities, make it transparent, and make it really, really small in your story, because you'll show up on that type of area that people might be looking at. Does that make sense? Like, if I hashtag Atlanta, I don't live in Atlanta, but I could make it a location, tap it one time, make it transparent, really, really tiny, and I've just opened up the possibility for more people to see my story. I was doing that a lot a couple months ago. I forgot about it. So I'm going to start doing that a lot more. And yeah, same thing with hashtags, but do your research with hashtags. Don't pick the super, super popular ones if you do decide to include some. And it's not bad to include them in the comments of your post. I don't like to do it in the caption. I think that looks kind of spammy. And it's probably a cool idea to play around with hashtags in your stories too, because you can make them transparent, small. She said up to 10, I think you can do per story. And in like when you're searching hashtags to use, think of just staying in the thousands range of people who use that hashtags, not the million. Because if you're picking a super popular one with millions, you're not going to be seen. It's going to be like too quick. You also talk about batching content. I think some of you guys could really benefit from this. Like, if you're like me and you wear your hair up and minimal makeup every day, pick one day a week that maybe if someone you live with is home with you, you could do your makeup. You could wear your hair down or put it up in a nice ponytail. And you could go outside and you could have that person take like 20 pictures of you. Maybe change, obviously don't wear the exact same thing. Change your shirt. That's it. Maybe change your shirt, take a couple fitness pictures, flexing, being outside. Maybe if you have kids, you take a couple pictures with your kids. You're just creating content that when you sit down to post on a Thursday and it's late and you're in bed, you have amazing pictures on your camera roll. You don't have to go out and get professional cameras, pictures, but maybe you pick a Sunday afternoon, you guys go to the park and you take really cool outdoor pictures. Because that is the type of stuff. Instagram is sort of coming around. This is what I see with stories. Now that stories are the main thing, your Instagram profile needs to kind of get back to that really crisp, clear, not like a magazine, like a real life magazine, right? Not like, you don't have to be pretty princess all the time. But if you're following all these people, remember, we want to follow at least 10 new people a day. They're going to decide, like Janelle said, in 2 seconds, they're going to read your bio and they're going to look at your last 9 pictures. And if you're not like clear, eye-catching, they can't really tell what you're about, they're probably not going to follow you. Okay? So it's a really good time to go to your Instagram and look at that. What does your bio say? Obviously, we don't want to say Beachbody coach. What are the 3, like mine says, girl mom, I'm fueled by 90s music and sunshine and coffee, and my posts reflect a lot of that, and I help women with their fitness. So think about the other things that you are about, and that should be in your bio. Okay. Side note, if you want to do a bio where your pictures or your information's on a new line, create it in your notes section first and then copy it to your bio and paste it. That's how you get the lines one underneath each other. I don't know if I've ever explained that. I do it in my notes section of my iPhone. I'm sure Android would have similar. I think you can have 4 lines, 4 or 5 lines on your bio, copy it and paste. It'll tell you in your bio if you're over the characters and you have to delete some stuff. But that's how you get crisp lines on your bio. Does that make sense? Okay. Is this helpful so far? I don't want to take up too much time. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it for posts. Batch your content. Maybe pick one day a week and get some pictures. Taking like 20 to 30 good pictures can last you weeks for stuff to post, you know, for your posts. Stories are obviously real time. You're not pre-planning stories. They're your life. It's what you're doing in real time, but posts are a little more calculated. Okay. Once a week or twice, I would say twice if you're posting consistently, call to action post. Now that means this is a clear post inviting your followers to join you and giving them clear steps on how they can do that. Should they comment? Should they like? Should they go to the link in your bio and fill out your Google form? And if you're not using Linktree, you can switch out your Google form as many times as you want. If you're talking about Fit Club, have it match your Fit Club Google form. If you're talking about coaching, you can switch it out to match your Google form for coaching. Again, I think you're totally relevant to do this once or twice, no more than twice a week on your Instagram page if you're posting once a day about other stuff the other days. You guys get that? Yeah, so for me, so this is what makes it really easy. Every Thursday, I heard this from a coach. I started doing it about 3 weeks ago. That's when I'm going to invite to coaching. I'm going to do a clear, direct call to action. You might think you don't have a ton to say about coaching. You can say things in slightly different ways every week, and new people are going to see them all the time. If you're adding and growing your followers, new people are going to see your stuff every single week. So if you say something slightly different than last week with a different picture, awesome. You don't have to have 100 things that you want to talk about with coaching, community, accountability. Maybe you're starting to earn some income. Like, that's awesome. People want that. People want community even more than they want money. Money is the perk. Community is what drives people in. Okay? And you've all experienced that. You don't need to have any success financially to be able to talk about the community and the tribe. Okay? Every Thursday for me, I have it as a recurring reminder on my phone, coach post. That goes for Instagram. That goes on my Facebook like page. Don't get a ton of reaction on my like page. That's fine, but that's where I've chosen to grow on Facebook. And my efforts are honestly focused more on Instagram anyways. Sunday nights, maybe not every Sunday night, depending on how the month is with Fit Clubs coming up, is usually some sort of call to action for Fit Club. For me, personally. So Sundays and Thursdays. Not all the time, but I guarantee you guys from here on out, every Thursday I will talk about coaching because I want to help. I want to grow my team. My heart is helping people and mentor them to grow their businesses. And that's what I want to lead with the business opportunity and default to the Fit Club because they're going to get fit if they become a coach regardless. I can help them with their health and fitness goals as I'm helping them build their business. And that's what I want to do at this point in my business. Okay. So clear picture, longer. I mean, I think a little bit longer posts are okay for calls to action if you have a really good picture that catches their attention. Or do they want to read your post because of your picture? And do you have a first line that's intriguing, right? Again, a question, like something that makes someone want to read more. And feel free, guys, in the business builders, post your calls to actions and ask for feedback. We're happy to do that. I am always happy to offer feedback. I'm not, like, my word is not like gold, but I know from experience what has worked for me and maybe what I would tweak, you know. Okay, I'm almost done. Stories. So those were calls to actions on posts. Stories. At least 5 most days of the week. I don't really worry about my stories much on the weekends. I kind of just ease up. Monday through Friday, I'm pretty intentional with my stories. Okay, so really easy way to get stories in every day. If you're like, I don't know what to do the same thing. I know Christy does a lot of her Energize. I do my Energize every day. Tessa does hers. Like little things that you can just repeat that you don't have to think about. If it's Energize, I'm like, oh, boomerang story. Like I don't even have to think about it. Maybe you make your coffee every morning. I know Jess, she on this call? Yeah. Jess is really like country music dance. Like maybe she does a little dance every day, you know, like do little things that you don't have to think about that trigger you to be like, oh, story. And it takes you 5 seconds. That's a way to get stories in, and then you build consistency, and then I'll tell you in a second, there's a way that you're gonna be able to start to show up on people's stories more. Okay, so once a day, some sort of engagement post. Now here's my recommendation. Do a fitness and health or health engagement post every other day. On the other days, do something that's just related to you. Like top of my head, Tessa is pregnant. Maybe she asked a pregnancy poll. Melissa, is Move It. Maybe she has something about that. I don't know, like things in your life. Heather is home remodel. Like little things. Do a poll about that, because that way you're attracting people that are already going through the same stuff as you. And then when people click on that poll, you have automatically made sure that you're going to be one of the stories most likely that they're going to see at the top, in the very top. Okay. So if you're asking about gardening, walking, cooking, whatever it is that you're interested in, it's just part of your life every other day or every couple days, whatever, and they engage in that, they're going to see your story the next day when you talk about fitness, right? So I've heard some people say, I don't get a lot of engagement on my polls. Well, mix it up. Number one, engagement, grow your network. That's going to get more eyes. But number two, don't always post about health and fitness polls. Post about stuff that's you're about, regardless of health and fitness, okay? Now, I'm a little more intentional this week because I'm hustling to make my goals. So you're going to see, I'm going to post tonight, I do a countdown of people signing up for Fit Club. And I'm going to do that every day this week because I'm really intentional about hitting my goals this week. But that doesn't mean that's kind of this focus for me. I might still throw in other polls, and the weekends I'm going to do a different poll. That's just sometimes you got to hustle, and that's what I'm doing this week about Fit Club. Last thing, I promise, stories. So once a day, you're doing some sort of engagement. I think everyone knows this. Never give people the opportunity to say no. That's just mean. And I don't want to talk to them anyways. If you want to see funny polls, look at Tessa's sometimes. Hers are like, one about coaching said, yes, I'm interested. The other one said, it's so funny. Said, no, I hate money. Like, just do like, you want to be funny about it, be funny, but don't give people the opportunity to say no. That's just going to be mean, and you don't want to know them anyways. I think that's all I had. Yeah, so the more they respond to your polls. Now, Heather asked me this last week. Do I message people that respond to my non-fit health and fitness related poll? Depends. Not necessarily. Maybe if it's something about being a mom and they respond, I'm like, oh my gosh, me too. If it feels natural, I'm going to do it. If not, then I just know that was a poll to get them more engaged in my stories. But if they respond to the fitness poll the next day, of course I'm going to reach out. And don't let it get to you if people don't respond, or this is my favorite, oh, I didn't know I clicked that. Like, you didn't know you clicked that poll? You just have to let it go. But you're not going to get to those people who are actually interested unless you just get in the habit of, hey girl, oh my gosh, thank you so much for clicking on my poll. Do you want to talk about fitness goals? Like, what do you do? Just get in the habit of that and know that some people won't respond. Some people will say no. Some people will say, my daughter clicked my poll. Okay. But remember, as I started this call, the only thing that we can control as business owners is what we do. It's not the algorithm. It's not your amount of followers that you have or don't have. It's the intentional action that you put in each day to get new eyes on your story, which allows you new connections. And the other week we talked about those funnels of, I'm not going to go over it, but when they follow you back, I invite them to my free group. I put them into Teamsy. They're always in my follow-up list. Once I get them engaging with me, I know we're going to have some sort of relationship because I'm going to be reminded to follow up with them. But I can't do that if I don't get more people to talk to each day. I'm done. Was that helpful? Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a schedule because I know there's a lot of stuff floating around with stories and posts, and how many times one post once a day about something about your journey or your life, or not always health and fitness. 5 stories, I think, is a good number a day. Do more if you want. Don't overthink it. Do the same types of stories every day and some sort of engagement. Share your Instagram stories to Facebook. Even if you're like, I don't use my Facebook personal page, that's fine. when you share your Instagram stories to your Facebook stories, it doesn't go to the news feed. Just, I know everyone knows that. They only see that you have a story on Facebook. And when you're messaging people on Facebook, it will pop up, watch Kathy's story, right? Because she has a story. So you're missing a huge opportunity with your warm network if you don't link your story. You can either link or you can go and manually, right? I think there was something weird with linking, but it's better now. Okay, I think so. Yeah, Christy, it's good. Okay. Guys, that's all I have. So if you're watching the recording, I'm going to end that now.